Hello and welcome everyone. A very wonderful morning in Singapore. That is, I'm like thinking of afternoon after our very long session with Dame Doria from US. So thank you so much for everyone joining in. And this is our Business Synergy Spotlight series where we bring together some wonderful game changers, trailblazers who have made an impact to the world. And we are very honored and delighted to have with us Dr. Arunagiri Mudaliyar. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much, sister. It's a pleasure always to meet you and to interact with you, because I know your passion to make a difference in this world, especially for small, medium enterprises, as well as for all entrepreneurs across the globe. It's a pleasure being with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's an honor to have you join us today. And we are talking about a journey that we have traveled. I think it's about 10 years that I've known you. And you have taken it leaps and bounds in your own journey from an entrepreneur, doing a very successful business in your corporate gifting. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And right now, you are also the CEO and chief mentor of Ecube India Private Limited, an AI certified global sales trainer, and also a best-selling author. I think you've written many books, if I'm not wrong. We're going to talk about that. Definitely a business strategist who have made so much of impact to the world together as well. So thank you so much for all the wonderful work you're doing from India around the world, and we're going to really be tapping into your wisdom. We don't talk about knowledge, we talk about your wisdom, because in the Business Synergy Spotlight series, which is part of the movement, we are reaching out to SMEs and business leaders, change makers, to see how we can consciously co-create synergies, as well as bridging impactful funds. So this is where we are so blessed and grateful that you are joining us today. So can you give us a little bit insights on your journey, especially when it comes to this whole business entrepreneur to impacting the world? So give us a little bit of insights to that.
Thank you very much, Azeeza, for having me here. First and foremost, as you rightly said, I have been an entrepreneur for the last almost 3 decades. And as an entrepreneur, it was my journey as a first generation entrepreneur, because I come from a lower middle class family. My father was into government service. But then I always was influenced and always was inspired to be an entrepreneur. So way back in 1996, we started our first company called Pacific Trends Private Limited, which was involved in the business of creating product solutions for various promotional campaigns, packaging, conference and events, for gifting, and for startup kits. So it started in a small place, almost like a garage, I would say, with almost about 9-member team, with an initial capital of just about 3 lakh rupees, which would be, in dollar terms, would be very, very minuscule. But over a period of time, we have grown, and today we are a team of almost 150 people. Having a very, very brilliant infrastructure of almost 12,000 square feet, total comprehensive manufacturing unit in Mumbai, where we have today serving a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And I've been able to impact the livelihood of nearly 500 families in and around Mumbai, because we are able to give business to many of these people. So as an entrepreneur, that is what is most fulfilling. It's not only for yourself. It's not only for the money that you earn, but how much impact are you able to make to other fellow human beings by giving them livelihood and also the opportunity to do business. So that has been my real journey and my real achievement or accomplishment. It's not how much money you earned, how much real estate you have, how many what's other assets you have garnered over the period of time. It's more about the impact that you have had. We have we have been involved with more than about 200 different companies, both local and global, and we have been able to serve them to make their promotional campaigns more effective, their packaging more appropriate, to make their conferences and events more impactful, and also to make their gifting, which whenever they give, to their team members or to their customers something which is delightful. So this is what we have been able to do as an entrepreneur in the space of my first company called Pacific Trends. As you rightly asked me, ki, how the transition towards training also is a business. And I would say, but training was a purpose in my life. And I identified my purpose as wanting to serve this humanity as a transformational catalyst to help every human being to unlock their infinite potential and thereby live a more joyful, more purposeful, and prosperous life. That's been my purpose in life. So, in lieu of that, I was able to get into training almost again about 2.5 decades back, and it has been the most fulfilling because it's in tune with my purpose. And as we both know each other, we both have been into the similar mission. We have been able to touch millions of life across India and abroad. And of course, my specialty is how to be a transformational sales leader. And today we are considered to be among the top in India and Asia. And it's been a beautiful journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning. And what's most fulfilling, Dr. Azeeza, is that we are able to live our purpose. And when you live your purpose, everything becomes a play. It's not a work, it's a play. And we are in tune with the Almighty's mission to make this world a better place.
Yes, I am. I'm just loving listening to everything that you say. It is reminding me on how we demonstrate our community. I'm so blessed that you are part of this global community that we have been nurturing over the years and building back relationships that, sometimes we kind of go our own ways to build this journey that we have started and then come back and build it even bigger. And that's what's been happening in the last 1 year with Go Global. And you remind me of our conscious capitalism framework, where it's all about conscious living. You touched how you touch lives of your team, and it's about conscious leadership. I'm sure everyone listening in can hear the kind of consciousness impact that you are focused on creating, and definitely conscious profits that's generating all this wealth for you right now. So congratulations, and I just so excited that we are having this meaningful conversation today with you, tapping onto your wisdom. We always say, as we say, Bucky talks about being an experience, and it's in Go Global's mission that we showcase experiences, not just some trainer stuff thing that we're talking about. So being an experience yourself, and you have delved into, as one of the pioneers in India, as I know, speaking into sales and growth in sales. You have been an international sportsman. That's where all of your energy comes in. And by the way, for those of you who don't know him, he's like, how many feet tall? You're like,
I'm 6'2".
Yes.
Thanks
So
to basketball.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So a sportsman who has generated so much of influence in the way that you do what you do. So today's conversation on sales mastery, which is so key as the most important, if not the only thing that any business needs to be looking at. We're going to speak into that and tap on your knowledge for businesses and business leaders to get to the next level of clarity. So I want to ask, just look at the dynamics of this. What do you believe is the biggest misconception people have about sales? I'm sure many people have asked you this, but let's revisit this.
A very, very appropriate question. In fact, as an entrepreneur who has successfully traversed this 30 years of entrepreneurship, because Dr. Azeeza, you would know that out of every 10 new enterprises which start off, 9 of them close down in the first 5 years. And if you ask me, frankly, as a entrepreneur, coach, mentor, trainer, it's mainly because there are 3 factors which are very important for the sustenance of any business: growth, profitability, cash flow. And if you see, all the 3 of them are a function of how effective is your selling. The misconception is people feel that selling is only one part of a business function, and many times neglected and
Yeah.
invalidated because of the wrong myths associated with selling. It has been my conviction that selling is the most important business skill, the most important personal skill. They say
Sure.
sales is equal to income is equal to business. More sales, more income, more business. No sales, no income, no business. And one more big myth is they feel that sales or selling is a natural, people are born with it. No, selling is a science and a art which has to be learned. It's a trainable skill and everyone has to learn it. Dr. Azeeza, one more thing which I have realized during my journey as a sales trainer, mentor, and a coach is that 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs have never undergone a scientific sales training program, because of
Yeah.
which they are totally oblivious of the importance of sales. Because all the three things, growth, profitability, cash flow, is a function of how effective are you able to traverse the journey of business. And we talk about 7 functions of business. Marketing gets the leads, sales converts the leads into actual orders, operation
Mm.
keeps the word of the sales, R&D does your new products and services, finance keeps your numbers, HR keeps your team happy, and R&D and management is about optimization of resources. Out of
Yeah.
all these, of course, even I don't, I'm not trying to invalidate the others. Others are also important, but the one function in any business which gives you income, money, revenue, profit is sales. How effective is your sales system processes? How motivated is your sales team?
Team.
Determines a lot on how well does your business do. So the biggest myth is people invalidate sales, and most of the companies who don't do well is mainly because the organization or some departments in the organizations are not considering themselves to be sales driven, and that becomes a big liability for any organization. So that would be my answer. Sales is the most important business skill, the most important personal skill.
And it is something that everyone have a cycle to it. I mean, somehow
Yeah,
sometimes sales happen and then there's a dip. How do you define that model, that
you're
direction?
right.
I mean,
Absolutely. In fact, every company is, you need to have system, because individuals don't work, systems
mm,
work. So you
mm,
need to have a well-defined system. You need to have a system which is monitored, measured, and also ensure that you keep it in a smooth flow. And
mm.
uh, in fact, I've come out with a definition for business from a sales perspective. Dr. Aziza, business is nothing but identifying potential profitable growing customers, acquiring them, retaining them, and nurturing those profitable growing potential customers. So these are the 4 functions of any business. And as you rightly said, if you're identifying and acquiring, that's only one part. What is more important is to retain and nurture them, because first sale is never profitable, because first
Yeah.
sale is more of a connection with you and your prospect. The real profit, the real volume comes in a business organization when they have a repeat sale, when they have an upsell, downsell, and cross sale, and you are able to generate more of the customer wallet share or customer potential, as we call it as. Once if you are able to do that, then you are able to sustain your business, thrive your business, and your business can go to the next level. So one more of my favorite mantra is, your old customers are your gold mine. And as you
Yes.
very rightly said, Dr. Aziza, it is according to the research which I wrote in the last book called The Sales Mastery, 78% of our sales guys do not go to their customer after the first sale. This
Yeah.
is criminal, because just imagine you have spent so much of time, because it takes minimum 5 to 10 calls to get the first sale. After that, you have not gone back to him to get a repeat sale. Oh, that is the reason why we have such a huge mortality of new enterprises. And this
Yes.
is because, again, they have never undergone a good sales training program curated and delivered by an experienced sales trainer. So, this has been one of the important sharing I do to more and more SMEs, because you're right. I like you. I'm passionate about ensuring that small and medium enterprise thrive, because they are the people who are able to give gainful employment. And as you said, conscience and entrepreneurship, we need to ensure that more of them thrive so more employment can be given, especially in country like India or many Asian countries. Employment generation is a very important social responsibility of every entrepreneur.
Yes.
Big enterprises may not have that many job opportunities, but small enterprises give more gainful employment to people. So this is the reason why I'm very passionate about this.
And this is, I mean, of course, your passion oozes out, every time we speak into this topic, and we know that that's coming from where your heart is. And this is also like your explanation clearly defines why during certain economic crisis time people dip. COVID was a very good example. Now we're going through another phase in life and we keep looking for new customers. We forget that the gold mine is something that we are sitting on, and it's like just unlocking that value is so important. Now, what has been drastically changed in the last 5 years? What do you think has drastically changed? Of course,
Yeah,
it's
you're right. In fact, the geopolitical turmoil has been quite a bit. In fact, earlier, I always say, Azeeza, that we were in a VUCA world. VUCA is volatile,
yeah.
uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And this is now transitioned to something called as BANI. BANI is the environment, economy has become brittle, anxiety-ridden, okay, non-linear, and incomprehensible. So if you analyze each of them, any which way the world and the business environment was highly volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, but now it's become very brittle. Brittle in the sense you never know what's happening. Everything has become very brittle. Earlier these people used to take for granted that okay, my sales stream is going to be always linear. And we used to have a feeling that no, I have my old customers, they will be always loyal to me. Okay, I can always depend upon them. Non-linear, now there's a lot of
Opportunity.
ups and downs in the entire business cycle, and every entrepreneur has to navigate this particular ups and downs very well. And if he's not able to do it, then he will have a difficult thing. He needs to have the resilience. He needs to have the self-confidence. He needs to have a motivated team. He needs to be constantly innovating and adding value to his customers for him to retain his customers. So, as you rightly said, in the last 5 years, the BANI factor has gone up significantly. Okay, the VUCA and the BANI. But today, entrepreneurship is a challenge. But at the same time, I would feel that if you have got those four characteristics, if you are alert, curious, resourceful, and responsive, which we learned in our Money and You program, that enables you to actually able to convert every threats into opportunity, every weakness into strength, and that's what is entrepreneurship about: continuous evolving.
Continuous evolution is key, and definitely the way that we are positioning ourselves, especially when we go back to our client, we cannot go back with the same product. So a great level of innovation needs to be there, and business model innovation is one of the, we say one of the hardest thing to do is think. So entrepreneurs with their business model innovation, when we start thinking, we can really redefine the way the business is done, and also go back to the customers, right? And offer them more and more. And it's actually what Simon Sinek calls as the infinite game. If we can create a business model that has infinite game, you can do a lot of business. And it all depends on what's your milestone, what's your direction in that space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have already touched on the mindset and the growth dynamics that entrepreneur or sales team need to be having. Can you give us some distinguishing factors around top performing sales professionals versus an average performer?
You touched upon my favorite topic, in fact, on mindset. I, for one, believe that 85 to 90% of a organization or a sales team's success depends upon their mindset. Mindset is also called as psychology, it's also called attitude. And I define attitude as the quality and the direction of your thought process with which you approach a situation. But Azeeza, you and I, we know we have been friends, and we have a very close relationship for the last 10 years. We have gone through a lot of challenges in the last 10 years. The COVID was the biggest challenge, but we all have been able to navigate it, and we are still relevant to the world today, mainly because of our attitude, optimism, our ability to look at possibilities rather than only look at threats. And human beings have been blessed with infinite potential. And unfortunately, in my study, in my research, in my first book was called Unleash Your Potential, Dr. Azeeza. As you have gone through that book. And I, for one, strongly believe that we have got a lot of self-created barriers. And that's the reason why I and you, we constantly keep on investing on our own self. And we keep on ensuring that we are able to constantly sharpen ourselves. Because you as human being are subject to so much of negativity and a lot of challenges from the environment, which is basically cynical. So you need to continuously overcome them and be on the path of being in action. And that's exactly what be it an organization or a sales commandos have to do. I always call all the sales people sales commandos because they are subjected to a lot of challenges in the environment, like rejection, like failure, or for that matter, the challenges today to acquire good customers, retain them. So the resilience factor is very, very important. In fact, recently we came out with the term called as anti-fragile, which is resilience 2.0. Earlier, resilience is when you fall down from here, you come back here. Anti-fragile or resilience 2.0 is if I fall down from here, I bounce back to this level. I bounce back higher. That is the type of a quality which every entrepreneur and every sales guy need to have. Like challenge, as we learned beautifully in Money and You, failures, mistakes is a part of life. But every failure is an event, not a person. I always remember this. Failure is an event, not a person. Mistakes are a stepping stone for success. So you need to ensure that you are able to learn from every mistakes and take failure as a response and then rework on it and take it to the next level. And this is what distinguishes a successful organization, entrepreneur, and a sales guy. And these are qualities which can be imbibed. And I, for one, believe that they can be trained. And that's exactly why organizations need to invest on training and developing their team members. First of all, the entrepreneur himself, and then his team on a continuous basis. Okay?
Absolutely.
And if you don't do that, then you are risking it. You're risking your organization and company. So the mindset-wise, I would always say, continuously have a learning culture in your organization.
This is, I hear you from the beginning, and this is so important for all our friends listening in. The importance of leadership, learning, lifelong learning, and going into that journey is so crucial. One of a very, very good example in Singapore is Mr. Muhammad Ismail, the founder of PropNext. He is, do you know him? He's a hardcore businessman.
Yes.
In the real estate business, and he was full on his personal development. I know him since, like really long, and I saw him go through so many programs, so many activities, invested himself, and then he went in to invest in his team. It is the largest real estate sales team, and you know what? They went for listing already, and they are expanded into many countries. So it shows in the result that they create. When an owner is invested, the whole dynamics changes. And Dr. Arunagiri, brother, there is a question for you, and it's a very exciting question coming from our partner from Bangladesh. She's a hardcore veteran for what we call human development, capability development. Ms. Fatibah Rahat Khan. She says, we see companies compete primarily on price, which compresses margins and limit growth, right? How to shift customer conversations from price negotiation to value creation and solution selling?
Excellent question. I think this is one of the very, very important uh, challenge which every small and medium enterprise undergoes. This is here, Dr. Azeeza. I have a strong belief that they need to understand the science and the heart of selling. Never, never sell on price. Always sell on value. See, it is like we call it in Bangladesh also the tarazu. It's a pan.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
one side is price and one side is value. Every time the customer talks about price, you need to keep on adding what is that value proposition that you as an entrepreneur or as a seller is bringing to the equation. And the more you're able to convince him or take the conversation towards value by consciously highlighting the benefits that your service or product is providing to the organization, and if you are able to really bring it out in a proper explicit manner, slowly the price factor will come down. Because especially in Asia, in South Asia, a lot of mindset is there of always asking for price. Don't fall a prey to it. Slowly tune it towards value creation. But tell them what is the value that you're bringing in. Okay? What is the benefit that the organization will benefit? And if you are able to quantify it in terms of numbers, you have got it. Like, for example, Azeeza, let me give you my own example.
Yeah.
We are one of the most premium sales training team in India. We come among the top 1 or 2, 3 in India sales team. And we have a price. There are people who come at 1/10 the price. Now, what we do is, Dr. Azeeza, we tell them that, okay, before the training gets over, you will recover back your entire cost of the training. Not only the trainer, even the cost of the training. Because we will be infusing your team with that self-belief, and we'll be infusing them with those skill sets, the mindset, and we will also make them actually do a selling process from the training room, and thereby generating actual sales from your old customer, from your prospects. Okay. And we also give this particular statement to them: if we are not able to give you that, we will not charge our fees.
Wow, you've gone to that stage. That is awesome.
And hundreds of customers they've got 10x, 20x more, because our philosophy is, if my product and service is of no use to you, then your money is of no use to me.
Absolutely.
So we say this with that conviction, because if
Nice.
if I'm not convinced about my product, if I'm not convinced about my ability to bring about transformation in your sales team, then I have got no right to take your money. So this conviction, this confidence, this belief is very important. Many people fall prey to price trap because they have somewhere not have the confidence or the belief in what value they bring to the table. Am I right, Dr. Azeeza?
Yes.
And if you are sure about what value you are bringing in, I'm sure you will be able to get across the conviction, the confidence across to the people. And let me tell you one thing: 93% of purchases across the world, across all the product services, is never decided on price. 93% of them are never decided on price. That means your purchaser, your customer is looking for value, not for price.
This is so well said, because I'm reflecting also about how the journey has been for us. Like, those days, right? When people talk to me about price, I know we're not going the right track. So then the moment those conversations come in, especially when the sales team talks about it, we already know the clarity is not set in. The sales team is not convinced of the value themselves. Then there is a whole different dynamics altogether. In the last couple of months, especially in the last, probably last year onwards, there were no conversation in our deals when it comes to pricing. Nobody negotiates with us, because the moment they see the value is there, there's no even question like, why is it, can you lower the price? And there's no bargaining here. And you want to work with those kind of customers on the other side of the picture. You don't want customers coming to you and bargaining with you. They are probably the wrong clients as well. I mean, I'm using a very absolute word, but they are still in their learning journey. So in that way, we have not. So it's always the price. If the price is there, so the moment they say the price is high, that means your value has not been shown.
Yes,
Right.
it's a pan.
So
So you have to ensure that you're loading the value proposition to them, and there is no,
absolutely.
as you beautifully said, Dr. Azeeza, there is no depth to the price. Even if you give free, they would still want you to do something else. So
Absolutely.
never fall prey to the price conversation. And here again, I would say that why many companies fall into this, because they have not, as you rightly said, they have not trained their sales commandos. They have not able to build that self belief into their team, and that's where training and development becomes very, very critical for you to ensure that you are able to get the due price, the due terms for selling. Because price is one thing. One more thing I would like to clarify, especially for my SME owners, is that price is only one thing. You have to also negotiate the other terms, like payment terms.
Yeah.
I've seen many times people deliver their services and product and wait for 3 months, 4 months for getting the payment. That
Yeah.
is atrocious. Or the
Yeah.
customer gets some absolutely uh, very, very cruel terms, like he says, okay, give me what 2 years product guarantee, or an unlimited service. No, you need to not only negotiate the price, you also have to ensure that you are also negotiating the other terms, like payment terms, the
Mm.
service terms. All those terms should be a win-win. It has to be a win-win. In my book called Negotiation Skill, there are, in all 7 books I've written, the
Wow.
last book I recently released in Dubai was 21 strategies for negotiating a win-win situation. I earmarked this particular point. Always work for win-win, but don't ever think that only price is one of the factors. The other terms of sale also needs to be looked into, and every
Mm.
entrepreneur has to be careful as to what is the how much of credit period are you giving, what are the other services that you are promising, because there are sort of techniques by which shrewd customers take away a lot of your value or your margin through those adversarial terms. Am I right,
Mm.
Dr. Azeeza?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is something that most of the time people struggle, and all the backlog comes in, and this is something that we need to avoid. So we're just going to jump into what is new. When I went through your profile, I know we caught up last year and everything. But when I saw, I was like, wow, AI, AI. You have an AI in your profile right now. AI certified sales, global sales trader. So I want to ask you, and I have another question for you also coming up. But before that, what has transpired for the industry with this AI involvement? Like, how has the world changed in the way that people do sales with AI?
Absolutely. In fact, AI, artificial intelligence, is the biggest breakthrough which has happened in all our human life. It's as powerful as internet, or it's as powerful as when it was electricity, maybe a century back. So AI is a tool which
Yeah.
every one of us has to use, including, of course, sales guys. Okay. And as I'm talking about as a sales teacher or a sales mentor or the sales coach, AI is a big tool for you to ensure that you are able to increase your productivity, your effectiveness and efficiency of selling. There is one thing which all of us know, that there are various stages of selling: pre, during, post. And we always say that before you go for a customer, you need to know everything about the customer. And Dennis Whitley, one of my teachers, has said you should know 64 information about the client and his business. This includes all the personal, professional. So I would say that AI is a tool which enables you to make that real. Because earlier used to say, whenever I used to say that 64 information, most of my participants used to say, "Sir, what are you talking about? How can I get 64? 64 information about a client before I go and visit him? It's impossible." Even then, it was quite possible to get the maximum about him. But today, with AI as your tool, as your friend, as your companion, as your advisor, you are able to get maximum amount of information about your client, his personal liking, professional, his business need, and thereby go well equipped for you to address and identify the need, desire, wants of the customer. And AI also enables you to continuously keep on, automizing many of those routine jobs, like administration jobs, like meeting minutes, or for that matter, CRM upgrading, or your reporting. All of them can go into automation by using appropriate AI tools, thereby enabling you to spend your valuable time in being in touch with your customer. Because law of average always works in sales, Dr. Azeeza, that
Yeah.
when you make more calls, you will get more customers. Then they say that when you make 10 calls, there will be 30% success rate on an average, which can of course go up now. But
Yeah.
your ability to make more calls becomes viable because of these technology if you use them properly. So that more of your mundane, routine, administrative job where you were spending a lot of time as a sales professional can all be automated.
Yeah, and this is really you are reminding me of all the work that has been reduced for businesses and the
Yeah.
sales team, and more efficiently they can perform in their work, and their time is maximized in that way. This is the word that Buckminster Fuller called a familiarization. That word is all about doing more with less, but at a point in time where everything is going to go for free for us to leverage on technology, and that's a big one. And I have a question here that um, uh, I I have a question here from Dr. Sivam from Malaysia. He's asking about during economic uncertainty, should sales team focus on more client acquisition or maximizing lifetime value from existing customers?
Good question, Mr. Shiva. Very good question. Namaskaram. In fact, I would say that, as I was just sharing with Dr. Azeeza, your old customers are your gold mine. So ensure that you are spending enough time to ensure that you are identifying their more and more needs, and thereby increasing the customer wallet share. Because it's like money on the table. It's like the low hanging fruits. So do that. But at the same time, I would say don't neglect your sales funnel. You need to continuously keep on, identifying more and more potential growing customers, and your endeavor to keep on acquiring them has to be there. I would never say
Mm,
that only be happy with whatever you have, because there is a law of attrition which is
mm,
always in play. Law of attrition says that in a year you will lose about 15 to 20% of your customers due to various reasons.
mm.
Various reasons, that may be because he has stopped business, or he has diverted into some other business, or his own people have come into the services that you are providing. So law of attrition is going to be there. But so in order to offset that, you need to always have a channel of your prospects coming in, and giving you those new customer acquisition. I always say, Dr. Azeeza, these customers are like your pillars
Mm.
supporting your ceiling. The more the number of pillars that you have got, the ceiling will be more stronger. Okay,
Yes.
but at the same time, as I said, the mistakes done by 78% of the people is they don't revisit their old customers. Old customers are your gold mine. Old customers are your low hanging fruits. Your old customers are almost money on the table. Don't lose focus on them. Keep the
Yeah.
focus there, but at the same time, continue looking out for new prospects and new pillars for your business.
And he had a follow-up question that asked, what leading indicators should businesses monitor to anticipate sales opportunities before competitors recognize them?
Yeah, it's again a very nice point. What indicators is you have to, as I said, the four attitudes which I always train to all my participants is: be alert, be curious, keep on looking at new opportunities coming up, because this world is dynamic. Change is inevitable. Only thing permanent is change. And there are changing applications available, the changing modalities which are there in the market. So you need to be alert, curious, resourceful, and responsive in your doing your business as an entrepreneur or as a sales commando. So keep on looking out for new opportunities. Here I would like to once again, as a sales mentor, tell is the best form of getting new customer is called as referral marketing, referral selling. Once if you have, that's why the connotation as to why your old customers are your gold mine, because your old customers can give you repeat sale, but more important is they can give you referrals. Referrals are the fastest way of gaining new customers. They say one referral is equal to 15 cold calls. So, but unfortunately, we have also found, because of people not being trained, entrepreneurs and the team, they don't ask for referrals. When I have got a satisfied, fulfilled, happy customer, ask him, sir, do you have anybody else in your network who would like to, who can benefit from my service which I'm offering? Okay, ask for it. And the best thing is, when you have a referral, the trust cycle becomes shorter.
Yes.
The person who is referred to has a more trust, because the trust gets transferred. And normal time, which takes about 5 to 7 calls, maybe in 1 or 2 calls, you may be able to get the sale. So use that in a way in order for you to identify new customers and acquire them, as well as you will be able to look at new opportunities, new applications where you can sell your services and thereby make a difference or add value to them. So Shivam, that's what I would strongly recommend you to do on a continuous basis, because selling is a science. As I said, it's some simple steps which has to be understood, simple basics, which unfortunately, Dr. Azeeza, I feel sad, because 90% of entrepreneurs or their team have not undergone a scientifically curated training program, because many of them have a wrong illusion that training is an expense, not an investment. But I would like to tell you, as your brother, that don't ever be miserly when investing on yourself or your team.
I so believe in that, and I'm so grateful that we are walking this journey of constant growth, and that's why we can speak into it. I'm sure Dr. Sivam is really excited about this, because just 2 days ago we had a conversation in Malaysia about the training industry, and how I think I had conversations with you. So we'll get you on a call, because that's a huge opportunity that this can be unlocked for businesses in Malaysia, of course, in the region as well, as we speak into it. And fantastic. And I have more questions in this session than ever before. Just to let you know, I've actually got a couple of other questions. So I'm going to jump into one more question with Samita from Bangladesh. He's part of one of our listed companies. He's one of the sales team member there, where we were with in Bangladesh last month. He asked what to do while the purchasers know the values but more interested in pricing, but as they are back, they can balance the values with price. So this question, I want to also give a different perspective. He given some details. It comes from a space of a customer who are constantly bargaining. And I have to say this, unfortunately, speaking from the other side, being a Singaporean who, works with global people, I recognize there are culturally bargaining patterns of people. So I would bring in that liberty of that conversation, because they also deal with very high ticket products like renewable oil and things like that. So maybe you can give a context to that.
Yeah, very well said, and I totally appreciate. There are some cultures, like I'm not. I'm proud to say that okay, we all, South Asia, we all had a lot of challenge. We had a colonial past, and we all had a scarcity first in almost everything. But over a period of time, all of us, be it India, be it Bangladesh, be it many of the South Asian countries, we are now slowly seeing the abundance. See, one important thing is there are some customers who have a nature, or human beings who have a nature to continuously keep on bargaining. And whatever you may offer them in terms of value, but they keep on still cribbing about it. So the answer which we earlier said, it's like a pan, keep on increasing value to show them the measurable, quantifiable value proposition that you're bringing in, and do it with a conviction, and tell him that okay, if you're going to invest X number, and if you're going to get 3X as a benefit, then I'm sure nobody would ever think about it. And this has to be continuously worked on by winning that trust. Here again, the trust factor comes. Trust has got 4 steps. First is agreement, delivery, assurance, and then exploration. That means
Nice.
Whenever a customer comes to you, you have an agreement. Okay, then you have to deliver. Remember, when the first sale happens, the customer is taking a higher risk than the sales guy or the sales organization. So you have to ensure that whatever you promise, you give more than what you promise. This has been my principle. I'm sure, Dr. Azeeza, we have been discussing it in various forums. You should always delight your customer. You have to surprise your customer. You have to overwhelm your customer. Okay. If you give more value than what you have taken, I'm sure the price conversation will go out of the window. And you have to ensure that you also, as I said, agree, deliver, assure them. Assure them is many times it so happens that after the money is got from the customer, many times the sales guy, the sales organization forget him. No. After the money is received, you again constantly have that quality communication saying that I am behind you. Whatever I promised you during my sales conversation with you stays.
Yeah.
And I have to constantly keep on reassuring them. And once if you are able to get the reassurance, the trust cycle will go up, and then you can explore higher opportunities.
Fantastic. I just love that. And expanding on that, because like what Samita was sharing, this is a very important time in the world where people are always, on top of being bargaining people, there is a price consciousness, a price sensitivity. I won't even call it consciousness. Price sensitivity, they're just for bottom line, right? So they choose for lower products, even though they know they like kind of compromise. So what would you suggest for those kind of situations?
Yeah, see, that again is very important, because ultimately when you're offering a price, you're asking, it's ultimately business is an exchange where you are giving your product and services for the money, right? And your cost, you can't go below that. Ultimately business is, profit is not a dirty word. When I am expecting some profit out of my endeavor, it's my right, because ultimately I have to sustain myself. Okay. And if my customer on a continuous basis, I just want to again re-emphasize this, if he's continuously trying to exploit and take away my services at lower than my cost, here I would like to share one of the Harvard research paper done by an Indian scholar, Southeast Asian scholar. He wrote that every year you should send away. He said that you have to kick away 10 to 15% of your customers. What he meant, that particular paper in the Harvard was appreciated across the globe. What he said was, Dr. Azeeza, that if your customer on a continuous, not on one transaction, but continuously is trying to take away your margin and is giving a very adversarial commercial consideration, then it is time for you to tell him this far, no further. And try to look out for new customer. No? Let him go. If he's going to continuously keep on taking it away and not give you your justified returns, then he doesn't need to be yours. Because remember, nature abhors vacuum.
Mm.
If you let go some very poor customers who are trying to be very adversarial, nature, and if you are ready to give that services to others, there are enough in the world. Operate
Yeah,
from an abundance mindset, not from scarcity.
absolutely.
If you have that particular belief, and if you know that no, this world, this universe is abundance, there is
Yeah,
enough for everybody and more, and you are ready to give that services to somebody, you should have sometimes to say, boss, this far, no further, and you're
yeah,
ready to let them go and look out for new customers. And I promise you, it has been
yeah.
my experience as a multiple successful business owner. uh, it has never happened that you put in a sincere, honest, authentic effort and you don't get good customers. There are enough and more.
Absolutely. I relate to that so much. And it's also about our deservability conversation that we always have on. And for sure, the law of vacuum, it's part of the conversation that we do. Thank you so much. And, we're still going on. We are 15 minutes and we're still going on. And I'm going to just give you a wrap up question. But before that, I think that was an AI question. I will get into trouble if I don't ask this AI question because it was by Fatima. So I better do that. So let me just get to that. Her AI question was, these days, there are many AI tools to handle prospecting. I think kind of covered that. Going forward, which human sales competencies do you believe will become more critical for sales team to focus? And that's a good one.
Beautiful. Very, very good question. In fact, I want to address this to all the founders, all the sales commandos who are there listening to this conversation. AI is absolutely a tumultuous, a breakthrough technology. Okay, it's a huge disruptor. But let me tell you one thing. My own research has shown, and my own conversation with world thought leaders, is that irrespective of whatever may be the breakthrough in terms of AI technology, the disruption, there are going to be two skills which will never be ever compromised. Okay? One is people skill, second one is selling skill. These two skills will always be relevant to all human transaction for centuries to come. Because remember, behind the AI is a human being, and human beings are emotional being. AI can
Take,
never ever relate to another by emotion. It's always said any sales transaction first happens emotionally, and then it is justified logically. So
yes.
we are human beings. We are human connects. We are human emotional beings. So that emotional connect. That's why they say in selling, the rapport building is the most important. And once a rapport is built, the other things automatically follow. So never ever compromise on becoming a better human being through better people skill. And also never ever think that selling skill is ever going to be compromised, because at the end of any transaction, there has to be a human interface which will enable you to ultimately consummate that particular transaction which you are going to have. So friends, rest assured that as a genuine, authentic, dynamic, passionate sales commando or a entrepreneur with a sales background, you will never be short of opportunities available in the market. AI is only an helper, because I always say that AI is like a intern, drunk intern, okay, who's ready to assist you 24/7. Never only depend on AI. Ultimate, the final delivery point has to be a human being. So, you must have known recently there was a big UNQ about one of the four top consulting companies. They straight away passed on their AI generated report to somebody, and it all went busters. So ultimately, whatever AI might give you, it has to be the final touching, the final screening will have to be always done by a human being. So
That's what
human
we
being is
do. So we have a partner who does AI training like for normal trainings, and he always reminds, and I have been experiencing this myself. We have our AI platform being created as well. It's always human, AI, human. There's no
Yes.
way AI can take away what human are doing, and definitely it's a very strong point. Our mentor from Germany actually just commented, Gunther, that therefore his principles about the customers, he said he works only with best customers as his principle, and when we introduce this principle, we get rid of 50% of our customers, and we still create more. And it's he's one of the former leaders of Accenture. More than 3,000 consultants worked with him before.
Wow.
So he's an amazing human being. Thanks, Gunther, for the insights. So as we round up today's session, by the way, friends, I couldn't ask any of the questions I had, and he prepared to talk about, but this was really, really interactive. Thank you so much for that. So I want to ask a question now. What is the one principle that you feel, sales principle, that you feel every business leader, a sales team should be holding on to?
Yeah. In fact, as I said, this particular definition, this particular principle or chain was on my own last 40-45 years of experience as a salesman. In fact, even today, I proudly say that even though I own a number of companies, I am first salesman of my company, and I'm proud of it. So that is first thing. You need to be proud to be a salesperson, because sales is what generates you the revenue, income, profits. So never ever try to say, I'm a marketing. People say I'm a marketing person, but they will not say I'm a salesperson. No, that's the first thing. First of all, be proud to be a salesperson, and remember this particular formula. You have to continuously identify, acquire, retain, and nurture profitable growing customers through the usage of rapport building. Rapport building is one of the most important selling skill. Rapport building is nothing but the initial connect or the relatedness with your customer. It is a skill which has to be learned. It's actually a triangle. You have to be, whenever you are with any other human being, always be 100% with them. Don't do multitasking. We are not supposed to do multitasking. So be with them. Second one is be interested, not interesting. Be interested, not interesting. Let your focus be on the other person, so that other person feels listened to, understood, and appreciated, sensitized. And last one is always try to find commonality between you. Because when you find commonality, there's immediate connection with the other person, and thereby you'll be able to build rapport. And once the rapport is built, all the other principles will come into place. Like, you'll be able to identify his need, desire, wants. You can then give the proper presentation using the FAB technique. Then you can go for a close. So it's very important that never, we always train, never straight away go to a customer and start talking business. No, first warm up. Warm up means generate that rapport. So among all the selling thing, be a good human being, and as a human being to human being, first establish a connect in your sales process. And once if you are able to have that connect and with that genuine authenticity, other things will automatically follow.
Great. And in Chinese we call it guanxi, relationship, and it's a big one for the Chinese community, or even in Asia. We are all picking it up. It's no more just going talking business, but knowing each other. That I want to be this client. I want to be this. I want this client to be with me. Both parties need to agree to work together, and I want nothing will be. Everything will be incomplete if I don't talk about the Money and You program, which you attended with us in 2016. And it was wonderful having you as in the room with us. So give us a little bit of your take on attending the program. And it's a global membership. You can come back and review all time. So tell us a little bit about your experience and how you have applied it in your journey.
Awesome. In fact, Money and You was one of the best programs I've attended. it's a comprehensive program. It's not only for your personal growth, even for your professional growth and entrepreneurship growth. And I really applied a lot of those principles. And first of all, thank you very much for getting it into India and making that beautiful arrangement in Chennai, where we spent that awesome 5 days with lovely people there. And especially, some of the concept, let me tell you, growth pyramid, outstanding, outstanding. I've used it so many times in my own business evaluation and reflection. The concepts about mistakes, brilliant, absolutely. How you look at mistakes, so that mistakes and failures, it was a absolute eye opener. And again, the important things about continuously being in the journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning is one more thing. And also the paradigm about business. One thing which I really loved was, which was the distilled point was, sometimes business is routine and it looks boring, but it's giving you money. So that beautiful game which we played, where it was very
Yes,
that one
yes, yes, yes.
twisted
No
turn.
details, no details.
Yes. Yeah. Then what I loved about was, sometimes I've seen this in the entrepreneurial journey when I consult and when I train. People want to do adventure. Don't do adventure with business. That's what I learned. That was beautiful. So there are many points, and I keep on revisiting those points and putting them into practice, because I always believe knowing is not doing, doing is doing. So putting them into practice. And Dr. Azeeza, I would like to say, like as you said, if I have to be a good mentor, I have to be a good student. And that has been one of my USPs. I
Absolutely.
every year spend at least about 1 million rupees, Indian rupees, on my own growth and self-development and education. And I also ensure that I keep on learning and sharing whatever I learned. So Money and You was one of such programs which has been a game changer for me. And I keep on applying it. I keep on sharing it with people. And I always keep on telling people, go and attend that program, because it's so beautifully put together. And thank you
Yes,
once again for bringing that to India. And
thank
I
you.
look forward to associating with that more often.
Absolutely. And knowing that, we have been speaking about this a lot. Today's conversation in the morning with Doria, we actually spoke about Money and You in Tamil and in Hindi. And we
Wow.
know the most important candidate in our network who has extremely fluent in Tamil and Hindi is your good self. So definitely we'll be having more conversation on that, being in the
Yeah.
instructor in the room with everyone as well as we bring in the work to the next level, not just for in India, but for Indians in the region and globally as well. Of course, in English language too. So, and you know that the business synergy and growth movement has started off last year. We started speaking into it. We have created Go Global, not just as a customer, just trying to do trainings, but rather a community that's committed together, and that's how we are growing it. How do you feel what the importance of community of this level for today's world, especially when growing business? Maybe you can give us that as a wrapping statement and your call out for everyone to be part of this movement that we are in together.
Aziza, you said it. Today is the world of cooperation, collaboration, and co-creation. You can't be an individual and really do well. If you want to really thrive as an individual, as a business, we need to find synergies. You know, and the synergies are because each one of us have got our own unique selling proposition or unique qualities which we have been blessed by God, Allah, everybody. So what we
Yeah.
need to do is to ensure that we are able to collaborate with like-minded people, so that we can help to bring in the best of all of us to the world around, because today world requires this. Because uh, alone you will all struggle and you will not be able to make the due difference to the people. So I really appreciate what you are doing, getting those like-minded people together on a common platform and bringing in their unique abilities, and thereby we are able to serve the humanity better. So very strongly recommend this, because no longer we are in isolation. This is a necessity, need of the hour, for all of us to really not only survive but really to thrive. So all kudos to you and all powers to you
Bless.
Dr.
God
Azeeza,
bless.
for bringing all of us together. And we look forward to contributing and associating with all the lovely people all over the
Yes.
world.
Yes, indeed. I think this is it is a very important moment. This session is very important for us because you are one of our very beloved. I will use that word, beloved, as a part. I can't even call you partner, a brother, right? We always call each
Yes.
other brother and sister. In growing this community, where it goes beyond judgment, it goes beyond all kind of noises. Just focus on impact and growth, and then the audacity and commitment to go ahead and do what we need to do. And that's where I'm so glad that we could showcase your wisdom to the community, and that's why I feel that it's such an important moment for us. And thanks for sharing your wisdom and your time. It's a 1 hour solid conversation and knowledge from you that we can apply immediately in our business, in our teams, in creating the result that we want. So thank you once again for coming in with us, and thank you everyone for tuning in. As you can hear it, the Business Synergy Growth Movement is bringing you real life business leaders, as you have heard all these sessions. And today with Dr. Arunagiri, we are looking forward to having you grow your impact in the world. So remember to register for the free pass and access to our global community at shinegoglobal.com, the QR code that you can also click into as well, to just lock in your interest, and then we'll be in touch with you on all our live in-person events that's happening throughout the world. Looking forward to be in touch with you again. So thank you, and see you all at the next session. Thank you once again, Dr. Arunagiri.
Thank you. My pleasure. My honor.